we will discuss about sacrifice. What is sacrifice? A sacrifice is something important or precious that is given up for the sake of gaining something or allowing something to happen that is considered more important. As in, I had to work hard and make a lot of sacrifices to achieve success. The word can also refer to the habitual act of giving things up in this way, as in achieving success requires hard work and sacrifice. Sacrifice can also be used as a verb meaning to give something up in this way, as in I had to work hard and sacrifice to achieve success. Sometimes the word is used in situations involving surrendering something to prevent something bad from happening, as in, she sacrificed herself to save us. In all of these cases, the thing being sacrificed can be tangible, like a valued object, or intangible, like time or health, as in, I would never sacrifice my health just to make more money. The word sacrifice is often used in the context of religion to refer to an offering or to the act of offering something to the god or gods being worshipped. The central figure of Christianity, Jesus, is viewed by Christians as having been a sacrifice for the sake of human salvation. The adjective sacrificial is used to describe things that involve or are given as sacrifices. The essence of sacrifice is that, according to Swami Rana, the essence of sacrifice is giving selflessly. It is a complete expression of love in the true sense. Those who learn to be content with only their essential needs fulfilled are truly happy, and they use all their resources in the love and service of others. The little bit that is left over is used for the sustenance of their existence in the world so that they can continue giving. Such individuals live for others, but the selfish are not aware of the law of giving and are doomed. In the universe, every action is a ritual, and the ritual is performed for the sake of sacrifice. The raindrop sacrifices itself to become part of the plant, and the sun gives us its energy to give light and life to all beings. The rain that nourished the plants, herbs, and all sorts of food for human beings is a free gift from providence. That free gift is called sacrifice. The governing center of the universe itself is full of sacrifice. Its nature is to give. This very universe is its gift, and it goes on giving freely to itself to the universe. The word sacrifice may at first seem to have negative connotations, but in many senses that isn't true. Sacrifice is often about prioritization and discipline, since we don't always have the space or time in our lives to accommodate all the things we would like. It seems to ring true that all times you've got to lose some to gain some. When your diary is full of activities, you may not even have the time to think about what's really important. Never mind actually setting cogs in motion. Even when you do have aspirations, right action is required if you are to manifest the things you really want in life. The reality is that you may well need to give up or deprioritize certain things that are not so important in the grand scheme of things. This makes sense in so many aspects of life, be in material possessions, relationships, career, and business. Social status, or simply the familiar comfort zone we all have a tendency to languish in from time to time. In this topic, we'll explore the common life situations in which it is often necessary to make a few sacrifices to get ahead. We hope that this inspires you to evaluate your life honestly with a view to creating the best possible future for yourself. As with most things in life, it's all about perspective. The way you perceive things relates directly to your quality of life. So having a healthy attitude to sacrifice will shape your experience of it. For one thing, the perception that we are losing or giving up something that can translate to a feeling of lack. This makes you want to fixate on what you once had but now do not. Even if you can't help but feel like you lost something, remember that loss and pain often leads to learning growth and the ability to persevere. Here's the healthy way to look at sacrifice. Sacrifice often determines your level of success in life. Through choice, and therefore intention, the most powerful force in nature, you're creating the space for something bigger or more fruitful. Even if it has not yet arrived, by dropping what is less useful long term, you're giving yourself the time and space to cultivate the most appropriate environment for its reception. It also helps to remember that life is not all about winning. It never was and never will be. Since life isn't a competition or a race, we can never truly predict outcomes anyway. We can only determine the most attractive direction and go with the flow, while taking positive steps towards our goals. Therefore, it makes sense to become clear on what is most valuable to us in life, before honestly assessing what is holding us back from that, and then finding the strength to let those things go. This is the behavior that propels you toward your ultimate vision. Making sacrifices that affect other people is one of the toughest. Like it or not, our closest people tend to have expectations of us, to some extent at least, and vice versa. Those who want the best for us will surely understand that sometimes we have to prioritize over things, but it can still be hard to let people down, especially when there are perceived consequences to this. One example of social sacrifice, like you're missing out on an exciting event with friends because you need to put the study time in before an exam. No matter how tempting the invite is, you know it's not really worth it. So you make the sacrifice. Your sacrifice may be something as simple as turning down a lunch date to go to the gym or work out at home because your fitness and health is your priority. Sometimes it's very hard to say no. You may worry that saying no will make you less likable, or that you may lose friends or not receiving future invites. However, anyone who genuinely respects and likes you will recognize that sometimes we have to make the effort to stay on track with important goals or objectives. This can be a tough one, since in relationships the emotional aspect is quite compelling. Emotions are an incredibly powerful force, and they can sway us from smart decision making. Even the slightest bit of confusion about what is the right thing to do can lead to procrastination or paralysis. This is one of the more serious types of sacrifice. We not only have our own feelings to consider, but those of others too. It feels like a big responsibility, and yet it happens to us all. We really have to be smart about who we give our precious time to. Regardless of the nature of the relationship, sometimes they can be more of a ball and chain than a positive contribution to our lives. When a relationship is no longer serving us, we need to overcome the fear of grief, resentment, burnt bridges, or whatever is plaguing our imagination. We must make the space for uplifting, valuable relationships, and this means letting go of stagnant or unfulfilling relationships. Otherwise, we simply don't have the time and space for new ones. This is another tough one. You have a job that is paying the bills. Perhaps it is even covering an active material life, but it's leaving you cold and you can't see a long-term future in it. Perhaps you can envisage your dream job, but you know that the steps forward this are a massive study commitment followed by a drastic pay cut. The fruits are there on the tree, but they're neither low-hanging nor ripe at this point. What do you do? The longer you have been in your current job or career, the harder it may be to sacrifice it. This is when you need to muster all your strength and faith in yourself and life. There may be no guarantees, but if there were, life would be pretty boring. The saying "leap in the net will appear" really applies here. Even if the net doesn't appear, the important life lessons set out of this process may lead to a whole new direction that we wouldn't otherwise have considered. For a successful or fulfilling career, you may have to make sacrifices in terms of time, fixed income, stability, familiar colleague relationships, maybe even home or proximity to family. It is scary. Your whole life may change, but the result may be a deeper education, your own business, personal freedom, and huge financial gains. Ultimately, you're sacrificing short-term comfort and security for future success and happiness. You're playing the long game, which takes strength and resilience. But how good will you feel when you reach that place? Sacrifice in health and wellness can also be a tough one until you get into the swing of things. Wherever you need it because of illness, you need to diet to lose some weight, or you just want to cultivate better health and vitality. Sometimes changes are necessary. You need to totally change your diet, which means learning about new ways of cooking and sourcing ingredients. It could be more expensive or it could take up a lot of time initially. You may have to give up foods that you love, which requires discipline. These are often worthy sacrifices. Perhaps splashing out on a personal trainer, Gym membership is required. It may be that you need to find extra time in an already busy routine. But the rewards will be worth it in the end. We often don't recognize what we are missing until we have found it, as we are so accustomed to our current state. Once we have achieved true health and wellness, regardless of the effort you had to put in to get there, we won't want to look back. As with all necessary sacrifices in life, the journey may not be easy. But when you keep in mind that you are making changes in order to create a better future for yourself, the journey gets a little easier. Whatever sacrifices you decide to make, congratulations on your strength and determination. In summary, sacrifices are important for the rewarding results it will yield. Sacrifices makes the passing of time worthwhile with a hope for a better future. Sacrifices builds character. Sacrifices strengthens your willpower and determination. Sacrifices gives you the power to choose, and sacrifices gives you options later in life.